The iPhone XR in 2022. There are many things that happened since the release of the iPhone XR, so should you buy it right now in this year? And let's begin with some of the more important aspects, which is of course camera. If you take a look at it right away, you can notice that the iPhone XR has only one lens. And nowadays, with so many smartphones having multiple camera setups, like definitely so many lenses on like a Samsung Galaxy, which have like 5 of them on the back and each one does something differently, well, the iPhone XR kind of seem like a weird one among them. But it's not really a problem. The only way to feel that it's just one lens is the ability to have ultra-wide photos, which is not there on the XR. The wide-angle lens is simply not there, so you won't be able to fit more into the frame or won't be able to take like a bigger, more spacious photos of the area or like closed rooms or something. However, it features portrait photos, which look very similar and really comparable to the ones taken on the newer devices and also on the Pro models. Like, it's not really a huge difference, and the way that it takes the portrait photo using one lens is because of the software recognition of what's in the object and what's in the background. Sometimes it struggles, but if you're taking portraits of people, you will be good. And if you take like portrait photos of some objects, then an occasional problem may occur, of course. The display. Well, there is a lot to say about it. It's just a typical LCD display with a rather lower PPI of 326. If you compare it to some other iPhone models like the iPhone XS with 458 or iPhone 13 with 460, it is definitely lower. But is it really that noticeable? I would not really say that. The display since the release of this iPhone, it hasn't got so dramatically better with displays. Like we've seen promotion being added, but it's not creating a huge gap between the iPhone XR and the current reality of the smartphone displays. It's still gonna be decent enough. Naturally, not being on the higher end of the spectrum when it comes to displays, and the screens are kind of important because we spend all the time just looking at it. But for the average person, it's definitely going to be enough. The performance of this iPhone is kind of acceptable or good, I would say. You can compare it to the later iPhone 11, which are kind of like similar phones, similarly priced. And I made a speed test of performing some basic everyday actions, so you can definitely take a look at that video. It's going to be linked down below in the description, and I'm comparing the speed of the iPhone XR versus the iPhone 11. People in the comment section or on other places on the internet don't really complain about the speed or performance of the iPhone XR, so it's gonna be probably acceptable or good. It uses the Apple A12 chip, which is built into this device, and there are other devices which use the same chip. If you would like to compare it and see it on yourself, then if you know anyone who uses any of these devices, or if you have one of them by yourself, then definitely take a look at it and see how well it works with the latest iOS 15. So the devices are the iPhone XS and iPhone XS Max. The iPad mini 5th generation, it's the one before it was redesigned. Then the iPad Air 3, kind of like an older looking one. iPad 8th generation and Apple TV 4K 2nd generation released in 2021. But it's kind of difficult to compare the performance to an Apple TV. But if you have like iPhone XS or know someone using it, just try it out and see how it stacks up to the latest iOS or iPadOS. The price. Well, it really depends on where you want to get it, and since some time has passed since it was released and it's now 2022, there are many of them available as used ones. So you can't really buy it as a new because there is no such section on the Apple Store, of course. Like, you can see that it's only available at authorized resellers, so it really depends. Like, you can get it, for example, on Best Buy, new, refurbished for $360, but this is, of course, the lower 64GB version, which is up to you if it's enough or not. And you can also have it on eBay. There are many things and many like factors that come into this, but you can ultimately get it for kind of a good deal. I was personally able to buy it for about 250 euros, which is not bad at all. And it just comes down to which offer you get, which auction you win, or if you want to buy it now, and definitely some other things. Like, it's just really a broad topic. And there are some other things that I would like to say about the iPhone XR. When it comes to the design and the way the iPhone looks, like we have the notch at the top, which definitely isn't outdated just yet. Like there are so many rumors that this year in September we're gonna see a new iPhone with just the bezel-less design, and it's just gonna have one cutout for the camera and stuff like that. I do not really think that it's going to happen, at least for all of the iPhones, maybe on the Pro models, but the notch is here to stay for at least a while. So it's not going to be like buying an iPhone 8 when there is already iPhone 10 and everybody is looking at the new design and stuff. I mean, you're definitely going to be good with that one. Accessories, just like all the time, it's an iPhone, so it's going to fit, and there are going to be many different accessory options, like just like for every iPhone out there. But you should also know that iPhone 11 cases more likely fit on the iPhone XR. It depends on which one you get, but it's really not a huge problem, because I mean, on the back you're going to have like a huge cutout for the double camera setup, which is not there on the XR, but it's just going to fit if you have one from the iPhone 11 or something. So that would be pretty much it. I do not think that there is anything else what I could say about the iPhone XR. The question if you should buy it or not is always answered individually, so I just cannot give like an obvious answer. Like, of course it would be to get it. There's nothing wrong with this device. But if you're like really a user which really wants the quality that the only Pro models get, I mean, just go for that. But if you want to save some buck on the iPhone XR, it's not going to be a bad purchase, and you're going to be definitely satisfied with this iPhone. So thank you very much for watching, hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more content like this. Definitely don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up, because it does help the channel, especially if you have watched until the end of it. So again, thanks a lot, and see you guys later.